tower is in England Bureau. Time is almost midnight.
Yes, it's almost midnight, midday. Our local time,
yes.
UTC time. It's 1 hour sort of before that. It's coming up to 11 o'clock.
The 15 meters band. I watched the 15 meter band. I look for a Japanese station. Maybe I can receive a Japanese station.
Well, we've heard some in the last week, definitely, and it's been on 15 meters. So the chance is there, but it sounds like it's the Middle Europeans or Russians coming through at the moment.
The TS950 sugar Denmark or SDX, I don't know sure. That one is Icon.
Yes, that's the
Icon 780.
781, I think.
781 is in Europe. We have 780.
Oh, I see. That's a different one. That's the 950 SDX or something like that one. With the digital, and that's Yaesu one at the end.
Yes.
Yes, it's a 3-band one, that one. 6 meters, 2 meters, and 77s. That was used
7 to 6 Romeo.
Used for
VHF.
Yeah. See, 50 megs, 444 megs, and 430. Used for satellite.
Yes.
But we've lost Oscar 13, so that was the mainstay, the one that we used to operate through.
My guy did. Excuse me. I did not ask your name.
Well, John Davis.
John Davison.
Yes. My own call is G3KZE.
G3KZE.
Yeah. So the satellite operation then is really used on this one, but at the moment we're waiting really for the new one, the Phase 3D, to be launched, and when that is launched, hopefully we'll continue with 2 meter 77s and also higher bands.
This is here Japanese voice in the England.イングランドのミュージアムですね。ヘムリディオミュージアムです。これはトランスミッター。
Yes, transmitter for what is it? 5 meters? That one? Yes, 5 meters. One of the first one that they used sort of to do trials between ground and air, and ground, way back in the in the 30s.
5 meter. 5 meter.
Yeah, 5 meters. Yeah.
5 meter means.
Well, about 60. 56, about 60 megs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Probably difficult to decide where you were, so that's their calibrator there to make sure that they had a. You could check where both rigs were. And
it's an antenna system?
No, that's a wave meter, just to verify the transmitters when they were using them.
Like we use the hard helmet net like that.
Oh yes, it does look like one of those, doesn't it? Yeah. That's a sort of earlier recording stuff like that. further down of the actual unit, the crystal set, or the cat's whisker.
Did key?
Yes, yes, it's a lethal one. This is that's the wording for it, and what they were doing was to string up a wire in a sort of static cloud, and use that then to key the static cloud contacts. So the reservoir there held distilled water or something, but I don't know, with all that spark caps and sparks flying about, I would have been a bit reluctant to put my hand on the key. Well insulated maybe, but I don't know.
Really old things.
Yes, they're much further back. There is an example sort of going through homebrew sort of transmitter in the about 80 meters again.
I'm also used to the homebrew ancient time, not ancient time, 30 years old, or the year before.
Well, yeah, a lot of people do like sort of building.
Also, recently I make the SSB transceivers, yes. Two transceiver, a non-band system. Not, but the quality is not so good. Difficult. Not spend money, but quality bad.
Yeah, there's a few more. There's that material, that tube that you see in there. That's at the bottom of that is some of the material they use for the crystal. That's the crystal set with the cat's whisker in position. There's another one down there, open.
It's really difficult, I think.
Well, you breathe too deeply, or somebody does a bit of vibrations, and the thing's gone. You know. I just about remember those myself. That's about all, because that would have been in the 50s anyway. Some of those are much earlier, but. So things have been around a fair time when you think of it. Right, so those were sort of home constructed SSB exciters.
Oh, SSB exciters.
One is a few are HF, and then there's a couple of 2 meter ones around.
LSB FM.
Yeah.
What does it mean HSB? I don't know.
I'm quite sure what they mean by HSB.
HSB. Upper side band? No.
Whole side band? No, I don't know. I just don't know. I've not read the article on that. It's going back a long while, that one actually.
Maybe.
It was done as an SSB rig. FM was just put in there because that was another option on 2 meters. So that's that one. There's the other one, which is the HF one.
HF band.
That's the HF one, that one, yeah. Done as an article too. And there's another one.
Loading, tuning, drive.
Yeah, that's the transmitter and that's the receiver down. So you did the tool. So you
same idea.
Same idea. Same tuning arrangements and everything else. You must have had a good many spare.
Very good design.
It was a very good design at the time because it came out when it was needed, effectively, in the 60s. Because SSB had been around a short while and it was still very difficult to break into that. And there was a construction article that sort of did the job.
Interesting.
That's a conventional sort of
portable.
Portable, yeah. But, well, you know, it's what's it say? Somewhere along here. Oh, it doesn't give the way. Oh yes. It's probably around 60 kilos. 60, no, 15 kilos. That's right, 15 kilos, yeah, because it's 2 pounds to the kilo.
Not handy.
Not very, no. Not very conducive to running around the countryside, anyway.
High clusters.
Yes. We've got a collection of different receivers that way.
Half made from USA, I think.
Oh yes, yes. Because that's quite old, isn't it? Yeah, 37. Yes.
Metal tube, using metal tubes.
Oh yes, some of them. Well, a mixture, isn't it? That one. Yeah.
ST tubes and the metal tubes.
A small collection of the sort of last wars type stuff used as surplus for amateur radio, really. And this is the older stuff. So that's the spark gap, and that's the detector, 100 years old, really.
100 years old.
Yeah, 100
really?
years old. Yes. Yeah.
Is Marconi the first contact to radio? Marconi.
Well, he started it. Well, he put things together and started making contacts.
Yes,
really.
yes.
That was the main thing. And as he sort of did these things progressed. He was able to pick up other ideas that were around and a few of his own, and he carried on. So that's it. Lovely bright emitters. Plug-in coil arrangements again. Yes, yes. A donated collection of valves going from sort of 1909 to 1936. The oldest one is actually down here in this collection. It's 1909 marked there.
Oh. 1909. 1909.
Yeah, it's one of the very earliest. All shapes and sizes, isn't it? Like the old common
This is
microchip stuff.
miniature.
Yeah, that's a collection that needs sorting out, that is. Gives the different... Well, we get odd ones sort of donated and presented once in a while, or just sort of given away, so they all need sorting out. And my colleague John Crabby is the one that does this, but he doesn't have the time of it most of the time. The things take his time up. So it's a job. That was a sample we had originally before we got that as a transmitter and receiver valves, different ones which were up to the 50s anyway. Most of those are valves there, but the receiving sides.
Like a coil.
Yeah, that is your electric line, if you like. The receiving stuff is got transistors in it, the early transistors, but the transmitters
using transistors.
Yes, that's a very early use of those.
But CAN type is really old. Maybe two. I don't know. In Japanese say 2SA type.
2SA. Well, they're very early on anyway. No date mentioned there. But 60s, 70s sort of type. Because the transistors were taking their time before you could actually use them at VHF anyway.
Yes, yes.
I remember the first lot that you could only use them at audio. And even then you got thermal run away. Yes. Your 807 there is, yes, it's somewhere you mentioned, yeah, P8.
807
yeah.
purpose.
Yes, somewhere in the top.
Double PA.
Yeah.
Crystal. OSC 807.
A double A.
Double A.
PA 807, and then modulator, this is the 6Js and 16 KT6060s, where they're audio stuff. That you can just about see them around the side, in fact. Just about look at it. Quite big. And heavy.
Transformer is big also.
Oh yes, that's the mains bit at the bottom. So the main transformer stuff is at the bottom, the power supply, and then you've got the modulator, which is just as bad because you need a big and the transmitter bit at the top. Yeah. That was a surplus stuff that came on the market in the 50s, yeah. The one they used in aircraft.
Oh, aircraft?
Yeah, aircraft stuff, that was, yeah. And it's got solid steel sort of casing. Very heavy.
50 watts?
Yeah.
3 to 10 megahertz?
3 to 10 megahertz, yes.
AM and CW.
So it was
quite difficult operation.
Oh yeah, well, when you consider...
Maybe bomber cannot use in a fighter. Fighter is very...
Oh no, fighters, no, bombers.
The bombers, yes. Fighter is very...
no time. they had fixed, they had preset tuning on the transmitters, but on the receiver, of course, they had to go to the right place. So they had multiple bands. And when you key this, you're keying the aerial changeover and everything. No, it doesn't work at the moment, but when you do it, it changes over the relay, the aerial relay and everything else. So HTs and everything else sort of floats over. It makes more noise inside than it does on the key.
What's in the receiver? Very heavy.
Very heavy, yes.
Maybe
give you a headache.
500 grams.
Yes.
It is also a zero coverage receiver.
Yes, this is one that was sort of made again with available valves. It was an amateur one. But
Commander. Name is Commander.
Yeah. And then a typical transmitter back again in the 50s, AM one.
Very big, huge.
That's the trouble, it doesn't change much from the earlier one along there because you've still got a big power supply and you've still got a big modulator. And the smoothing for your supplies is rather large. This is your 2 valves again, your 807s by the looks of them. Yes, 807s too.
Small power, 150 watts.
Yeah, they're pushing it, yes.
Push power.
They're pushing that one, yes, 150 watts. And then another home constructed article there for linear amplifiers. When that exciter, the SSB one, came out, it was only about 10 watts sort of output.
10 watts.
Yeah, so this one was designed to take that and boost it up, because to at least the maximum then, or probably over in fact, but at least up to that level. So we only had about that level. We had a 150 watts sort of DC input for a long time, really.
3.5 at 7 megahertz, 14 megahertz, 21, 28 megahertz. All band system.
Oh yes, it wouldn't have been before the time. So if it complemented the other one, it would have been that. So it's dated what? It doesn't say. It says in the 70s. So the others didn't come in till 79.
It's a maker.
So they're in the 80. That's the KW, yes.
KW 200D.
Yes, that was the digital display.
A digital display.
Yeah.
England.
Oh yes.
England makes this.
Well, they did. They switched production back in the sort of 80s, I think.
What is the diagram using a transistor already? Transistor or
mainly valves, I think they were. I think they were valves. I don't think it's a solid state. It was a transceiver. What does it say? It doesn't say.
Look like QWM2A.
Oh yes, they're all. Bit stiff, that one, is it? Stiff.
USB, CW tune. Maybe tune the final is a tubes.
Oh yeah, I think it's a tubes. It's tubes anyway. I don't think it's anything more than that. It was at the wrong time, really. Again, a typical one going even back further was sort of there. And then these are surplus. Well, that's a surplus one. It's how to check your station frequency, accurate frequency source. It should have actually had sort of. Oops! It hasn't got them. Got a circuit diagram, all right? Yeah.
Very old.
Oh yes.
J7 ST tubes, I think. metal tubes.
Yes, yeah, it could have been that as well,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the other thing that was actually, should have been in there, is the charts to give you the accurate sort of the dial reading against frequency. A similar thing over there as well, but a different version. And those are two receivers again. These are very early receivers, sort of back in the 30s. These different bands.
RCA.
Yes, that's their famous AR88. And then those are solid ones that were produced by Lab Gear. They're British ones again. Sort of very heavy once again. Then we've got a lot of Eddystone stuff, receivers anyway. And to cap off with the old Heathkit
Yes.
from America.
Maybe
Again, you can compare
25
those.
years old.
Yes, oh yes.
It's really popular in the world, his kit.
It was in the 60s, yes. And at least you can
Many
compare
people
those.
make himself his kit cheaper than the completed the maker set.
Yes, yeah. And then this is just an example of how they've gone in that sense, much smaller. But you can't see what the components are originally. And now it's even worse. You get one big chip and yes, it's worse from the point of view of somebody servicing it anyway. It's because you can't do anything with it. These you can do place, you can do something with. But yeah, so there's all the cards from members.
Selective
going out
QSL
and
card
here.
too.
And the overseas ones from the different bureaus come in here to be sorted through, to be sent to the sub-managers who deal with the actual individual members then. They're kept very busy.
Very busy.
Like a postcard office.
Oh yes.
Thank you. Scandinavia. Helsinki.
Yes,
Helsinki ham radio.
It's more than,
CQ magazine.
yes, oh yeah. In the magazine.
これ資料室ですね。ミュージアムじゃない、ライブラリーですね。
Yes, this is our
library.
Yes, yes.
QST、それから JA の CQ マガジンもあります。
Oh yes.
As licensed amateurs can demonstrate to the general public what amateur radio is all about. We also deal with the novice license, the administration of the novice license. We currently have 1,000 novice instructors appointed around the country, so they're all very busy. We also maintain beacons, a current list of the UK beacons and the Region 1 beacons, voice repeaters and packet nodes. We also take general inquiries from members, non-members, anybody that really wants to know anything about amateur radio. It's all done in this little office. And that's about it.
Thank you for it.
Hello?
Hello.
Jennifer's not going to say anything. Good size, Jennifer.